Now, slinging it. Back in the hot seat.
Are we on?
We're on.
I was fucking too busy looking at the phone there. Pornhub. What are we at today? That was a wet one, Chris.
That was a wet one.
But anyway, we got the
Boys,
fire up.
let's get that like button hit now. Because see this work we have done to do this. See that fire? It's been pissing rain here all morning.
Aye, it was a bad job. But we're experts, so
We're experts.
we're alright, you know that way.
I don't want to call myself an expert.
The part of the experts is baffled again, I don't know what they're doing.
Here, the girlfriend fell out with me.
Aye.
She says I'm spending too much time with the wife.
Well, mine says that too.
Right. So, I had a couple of comments that I want to start on right away because it's a hot topic. As hot as that fire.
That she is hot.
Our thoughts on hunting with 8mm steel.
Our thoughts on hunting. Well, as you know, we hunted with 9mm steel, as we've documented on the podcast before.
We've done them all.
We've done them all. My thoughts on it would be a 9.5mm steel is not going to knock a pigeon out of the tree or squirrel out of the tree unless you get him on a crop or get him in the head. With an 8mm steel,
Going at the right speed.
going at the right speed,
Yeah.
there's no benefit, I don't think, the 9.5mm steel over 8mm steel, because you're going to have to hit it in the same place. And the thing you can do with 8mm steel, you have a lighter setup, you have more
Speed.
speed, you can hold a wee bit longer, and it's a flatter trajectory.
Yeah.
The 9mm steel, that's night and day. The guys, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, Pioneer Bushcraft, but I shot a rabbit there not that long ago with 8mm steel. He must have been 15 to 20 metres away, and I could see the trajectory, and it was just, I shot him out of the forklift and worked when the ball's right, but the trajectory was just flat. I watched it, it was just flat, bang, just right above the eye, and he just lights out, didn't buckle up, didn't do nothing, just like
It probably would have been a harder shot with 9.5mm steel.
Aye.
Now, 8mm steel is an ammo for the experienced man,
Yeah,
hunting wise.
yeah. Because it's precise, you have to be.
If you're not precise, you can't use it.
Well, it's like leads, 12mm, 10mm leads are going to just knock them out of the tree.
It's forgiven.
It's forgiven. You can take a bad shot and still knock them out of the tree, which is fine.
You can get squirrel, pigeon, rabbit, any other type of feathered game. You can get a body shot, especially with the bigger leads, 10mm lead up.
Aye. With a rabbit, though, if you body shot him, he's going to run on like.
No, rabbits are pretty soft. In my experience,
I've hit them with a 10mm leads, and it's on broadside, and they've just. Whether they're dead or not, they get down the hole and dive with broken ribs and punch their lung or whatever.
well, like the other week we were talking about aggressive 8mm steel setups.
Yeah.
So the heavy 8mm steel setups.
Yeah.
I've hit rabbits in the ribs with them, and they've hardly kicked.
Aye.
Aye. But again, 8mm steel, you need to be precise. Okay. Even with them aggressive setups, they're harder to shoot.
Yes.
Okay. They're harder to hold on to, bearing in mind because the 8mm is the smaller diameter.
Yeah.
The pouch is
Smaller.
aye, it's a slightly harder grip. If you're holding a 1/2 lead, it's easier to hold on to that.
Aye.
As opposed to the.
I don't know, man. I would find it difficult to go back to 9.5mm, 9mm steel because of the size of the ball.
Aye.
I actually like that we.
So do I.
It's just boom. And
But
it's gone, like,
but you have to. And what I've been trying to do, I watched a podcast, the Sling'in. You probably haven't seen it. It's a new podcast out, but there's guys talking about that, and they're talking about whenever you're a beginner, and if you cast your mind back to when you were a beginner, you were very different than what you are now.
Yeah.
We like that wee slight hold,
Aye.
but we've been building up that hold for 10 years.
Aye.
Boys don't have the same hold.
Aye.
So 8mm steel is great for hitting targets.
Boom.
Right? But see, whenever you're
like
going
a
to
laser,
go...
right setup, like.
It's like, boys that are into bow hunting.
Yeah.
Not everybody goes for the most efficient or effective setup.
Yes.
There's like purist things or elitist things. You know, like you could say, well, why would you use a £45 traditional bow whenever for the same money you can buy an £80 compound with a lead off?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
It's faster, it's easier to shoot.
Well, it's off topic of catapults. As you know, I got a crossbow there.
Yeah.
And the let off. People say, "Oh, why do you get a crossbow?" Sure, that's not proper bow hunting. Well, then, if it's not proper bow hunting, see the compound guys. Why not shoot a recurve then?
Aye.
So it's the same thing. Only one's vertical and one holds like a rifle. There's no different. You still have to get in the right range.
Yeah.
You still have to stalk the animal.
Yeah.
You still have to do all them things. The only way, it's just the delivery system is different.
Yeah.
That's it. So I don't understand that argument. But there you are.
When you're using 8mm still, right? You're looking for a head shot or a neck shot.
Yeah.
And you're looking for a clear shot.
Yeah.
You're looking for a well-presented animal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You're not taking a shot on something with its back to you.
No. Or you'll squeak them up. What I do sometimes is I'll go.
Yeah.
They put the head up, bang.
Yeah.
What I've also done is I've called rabbits in using the squeak.
I've tried that a time or two, but I've never
called them in, and they'll come over and they'll look like that there, and then they'll scurry off.
Aye.
But you can call them in. I call them in all the time.
Now, what I have done is I have squeaked one to sit up when
Yes.
he's grazing,
Aye,
and
go
that
up,
works.
bang.
But I've never called one.
I've called them
But
in. They
I've-
come and investigate.
I know, I've seen boys on YouTube doing it,
Oh.
and I've tried it, but I've just had no success with it. It's an art in its own, isn't it?
Calling them in, like
Calling them in.
They squeak. They come and see if their mates fucked.
Aye.
And then they go, oh fuck, I can get out of here.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
He's fucked and I'm away.
Aye.
I think that one I shot the other week
With a catapult.
with a catapult. He was grazing on a bank, and he just wouldn't look around. He was kind of quartering away from me.
Yeah.
And I just went out there. They put the head up. Boom.
Yeah.
Knocked him.
Yeah.
Dead cold. Shot a pigeon that day too. I
Did
did
I?
three like that. They just fucking
They're on your Instagram, aren't they?
Boom! Bang! That was him. He was gone like.
Aye.
He ended up in a burger.
You should get a GoPro for some of them shots, you know.
I would get some questions by me sailed about the telescopic on site with a fucking GoPro. Well, you know, there's some crack, but
Aye. But 8mm steel, aye, it's
We
one of
went-
those ones that back in whenever 8mm steel became popular over here, it was a contentious topic on Facebook groups,
100%.
and guys were saying they were no good, all the rest. I was one of them people myself. I said they were no good, and I thought it was like a girly setup or whatever, a kid setup. But you know, the speed, it's the speed.
Speed kills me.
The speed you get for the draw weight ratio, you know, when you get the penetration. But again, it's not.
You're not gaining much shooting 9.5mm steel over 8mm steel.
No, I'd rather have an 8mm over a 9.5mm. Well, it speaks volumes that I'm on the 8. If you're shooting 9.5mm, anything you should be shooting at, you should have a clear shot, and you should be confident in your ability to make the shot.
I think with the 9.5mm, the only pro over 8mm is
Brush.
it would be a bit more forgiving through brush.
Aye.
That's it.
Aye. If you're even shooting through grass, like if you had a rabbit and he was in long grass,
Yeah.
that's going to slow your 8mm down considerably. But again, that's when the comes in,
Aye.
bang. You know,
That's a good tip for guys, like just squeak
Yeah.
him. Squeak his
Yeah.
head up, he'll look around or whatever.
whereas if you're hunting somewhere and it's, you know, dense, heavy cover, that's the only place that you have to hunt, the only permission that you have to hunt. And it's just thick. Some places are just like that, you know.
I would even still go with 8.5mm leads.
Well,
Solid, and I have done.
I don't know what I would do because I haven't been in that situation, and I like to keep to the 8mm steel because I like to go to, you know, target shooter, competition shooter.
Yeah.
And the 8mm steels just have phenomenal advantage there. There's no disputing it. Although, you know, Gamekeeper John still shoots incredible with 9.5mm steel, and that's what the heavier steel men will refer back to.
Yeah.
Look at Gamekeeper John. You're not Gamekeeper John, unfortunately. Gamekeeper John's Gamekeeper John, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You haven't shot a catapult for 20 years. And that's just what he does, and he's just good. He's gifted and he's experienced,
Yes.
you know. But you know, the 8mm steel, it's a phenomenal ammo.
I think the takeaway from it is give it a shot. Literally, pardon the pun, but give it, if you can get your hands on some 8mm steel, give it a go, make a setup. As Chris has on his website and on his YouTube channel, is utmost, you know, vast array of what setup to use for 8mm steel, everything about it. Go and have a go at it. Go and buy 200, go and buy 500, and just
I don't
whack the catch box. Like,
I don't really like telling boys, you know, exactly what to use.
Yeah.
I like saying what I want to use and sort of like, and then this podcast is great because then you'll say what you're using, and we'll bounce between that, and then that gives guys a framework to start off. Because the true learning is getting there yourself.
Yes.
You're learning by doing. You're not learning by, like, I can tell you, shoot 20 to 12.
Yes.
Shoot a 5.5 stretch ratio. Right? And you could go and do that and you could go and do all right. But see if you invested the time into that wee bit of
research into your own thing.
And
it's a framework. You're giving people a guideline, right? Say you go 22 to 12.
You're drinking one of these coffees.
22 to 12. You could branch out. Like I shoot 23 to 13.
Yes.
Still a 10mm taper, but it adds. It's just a wee bit beefier. You know, and it's good to play about and say, right, that there works, that there works. Although 22 to 12 works, 100%. Then you can just tailor it to yourself, like, which is great, which is brilliant about catapults. Bows, string is a string or bow is a bow, but I suppose you can do you can adjust your draw weight on the compound as opposed to a taper, but it's the same thing. It's the same principle.
Well, the best thing about catties is, right, you can go and you can buy a slingshot, and you can have that thing set up for shooting 6mm BBs, plastic BBs, or you can have it set up for shooting 16mm lead.
You can taper that, and,
you know,
customise that to whatever you're doing. Like.
Whatever you're doing. And the 8mm steel to me is, it's nearly like a purist thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going out and being like, I have to get something. Right? I want to, there's sport in it for me. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy the sport of the hunt.
Yes.
You know, people, that's frowned upon. That's frowned upon, isn't it? You know, doing it for the sport. I'm still eating what I'm going to take. I'm not going out and taking more than what I need. Like, whenever I would go ferreting, I would catch 2 to 4 rabbits, and that'd do me. I want to leave rabbits there. I don't want to kill all the rabbits. What annoys me is you go on the ferreting pages,
there's hundreds of them,
and you see boys and they're sitting with 400 rabbits dead in front of them, and you're thinking, all lined up, and they post it on Facebook as if, oh, look at me, you know.
I suppose, but and if they're doing that, if they've been asked in to do that as a pest control job, that's different.
But a lot of boys aren't. A lot of boys are like
just out for the sport.
They're chasing numbers. You know, and I get it. I get it, and I'm not casting judgment. And I support any man that's into a bit of hunting. You know, I don't, like, if you want to hunt with a sledgehammer, go for it. That's the way I think about it. Like, you know what I mean? But
16mm lead.
What I like, right, is me and Paul were out one day, and there was a squirrel, and the place where we're at, it wasn't. It was a permission I have, and the squirrels don't see people. So remember we were talking about the other day, like, it doesn't give you, if it doesn't see people, it doesn't give you a chance, right? So I'm coming out this way, and he's sort of in trees here. I'm coming out this way, and Paul, he's coming out round the backside. And we're just kind of keeping him between us, so he can't, you know what I mean? So we're pursuing him.
Doesn't know who to look at.
We're herding him, sort of. And Paul took a shot, and he was kind of running, and you need to keep bumping him on. Like, even if say he's somewhere in a branch and you can't get a shot,
bump him.
Put a shot where he's at, and that'll move him to somewhere you'll maybe get him. So anyway, Paul moved him on with a shot, and here he run up a branch, and I was aiming as he was running. See, when Paul let the shot go, I was still already aiming, right? And here he run up a branch, and he come to a fork in the branch like that there. and I was at full draw, and he stopped for a second, and his head was just poking through the fork, bang, right up under the chin. It was a blackthorn natty he made me, and just down he come, and it was just.
It was
just.
He couldn't have put his head in a worse place, because all you had to do is aim for the fork.
Aye, but it was just such a creamer of a shot, because he had only just stopped moving. He only gave me a tiny wee second, and that's all I could see of him.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't even see the base of his neck. I couldn't see his shoulders.
Just his head.
Bang, and it was just class, and that's what I'm into. I'm not into, he's sitting up in the canopy and putting 10 shots into his body, trying to kill him, trying to drop him. Then it's just.
It's a clean miss or a clean kill, like.
Aye. And that's what I like about the 8mm as well. If you're aiming at a thing's head, 9 times out of 10 when I miss, I'll always miss over his head. And then he'll either bump on and I'll get another shot, or a lot of times when you miss over their head, they're like, they see you, right? And the retraction of the bands has come from you, but then the goes behind them. So they're like, where'd I go? They don't know where to go, so you get another one, do you know what I mean?
Another shot, yeah.
Whereas
rabbits are very like that there.
Rabbits are like that too, and actually if if a rabbit's hopping along and he's hopping his way to the warren, right? See if you put a shot into where the warren is and it hits the ground there.
Yeah.
He'll sit out for a minute or two because
I've nailed them there, and they'll go to the warren, and then they'll make the mistake and they'll look back like that. Nailed. I get this one. That's here.
I was out with Leo one time, Leo McMillan, on just where he lives there. He lives on a big farm down in South Derry, and he had a Subaru Forester, and we were driving around the fields with the farmer he's at, and we were taking shots at rabbits, and there was this rabbit sitting out, and see this farm, right? There's that many rabbits on it. There's holes in the field, like it's not all in the hedge. There's a lot of rabbits.
Ground warrens. There's
ground warrens.
Flat. Yeah.
So this rabbit, he pulled up. He had a wee Subaru Forester. He pulled up, and I opened the door like that, and the car was facing the rabbit. I opened the door like that, and the rabbit run to the front of the hole. I was like, I'm not going to get a shot at him. And the hole was on the ground, but then there was like this run down into it. So he ran down into the run, and he was in below the ground, and then he just stuck his head up like that to look at me. Bang! And I mean, oh, it was class. And I mean, Leo going, what a shot, what a shot. He couldn't believe it. And that's the type of shot I like. Now, that was back in the Raptor days with .6, 23 to 17 and 9.5mm steel.
Raptor's
you know what?
Great,
class. And I could still take that headshot, you know what I mean? And that was still a good shot, but I could do the same shot with a 8mm. It would get to the rabbit faster. I'm not pulling back the same weight.
Yeah.
I can carry more balls in my pocket. You know what I mean?
I think it's just all round better.
It's better than 9.5. You know?
I've had more success with the 8mm.
You have?
Oh, aye.
You certainly have.
100%.
But you take a lot of rangy shots as well.
I'd take shots there. I'd come off with some crazy shots, like I'll miss one right in front of me, and then the next shot he'll be up in the tree or something, and I'll go, fuck, bang, there I go. Next thing he's out of the tree, like, you know. It's just the way it seems to go for me.
How long has it been since you shot TTF?
Fuck. I think I got a TTF Titan off you. I don't like brace TTF.
No.
It doesn't. If I'm shooting TTF, I want a pinch. I want an ergo pinch, like, or a hammer grip. That's what I want. Brace TTF, I just can't get onto it.
I'm shooting.
I like.
I'll show you what I'm shooting.
I think you get with OTT, you get more of a sight picture of the game, like them wee sights, mate. That's that rap you were telling me about.
Aye. The new rap I'm doing. I'm gonna
get that out funny way, that out weird way I hold my fucking hands.
I like brace TTF.
I don't know. I still have that catty in the house. I maybe fucking get it out. Take a
What catty have you got?
I have an S90. A Titan Hunter. It's like that there.
A TTF?
A TTF.
A wrap and tuck?
It's a 90mm.
A wrap and tuck?
No, it's a clip. It's a clip.
I can't mind giving you
Remember
one.
you dropped it off at my work? Remember I met you in France?
Aye.
It's mine.
Aye, you put dumps in it.
I bought a dump on it. I bought a dump on it. But it's bigger than that. That's a better size. I think that seems smaller than the one I have. The handles.
That's an 85.
Aye. I would use one of them.
See the 85 TTF with the sight? Them bands are well short. It's the same size, except that feels smaller because it's got the 275 wrap.
That's the one. A funny story about how you were talking about fork hits the other week and letting your caddy out. I let this out, the guy, and I got it back. I'd actually forgot about it, and I got it back. Boy just come in and handed me it back at work, and you would think he had it in the catch box.
No.
He was using it as a spinner.
He has fork hit a clip at the front
I don't know
of it.
how
How he has done that, I don't know.
Not a clue. But that there's took some. I took some stuff for that too. And clips. I was just.
You know them wee 85mm OTTs? They're a strange seller because you'd hardly sell any for 2 months, and then next thing
They're just compact.
Aye.
You can just get your hand around that.
Aye. See, people always ask me as well, like, what size would you recommend for like a full-grown man?
Yeah.
But these are all
Full grown. Like
They're all-
my hands aren't small by
No.
any stretch of the imagination.
no. My hands, like I'm wearing XL gloves at work.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a wee pocketable boy there. That's just a nice wee.
they're all, you know, it's not like the small is for kids or something.
No.
You know what I mean?
But you can tell that's the same size as that, but that's got the 550 paracord wrap all the way around it, which I don't know.
I like it too because I have a black S90.
Because it is small, I like that chunkiness about it, like, you know.
Yeah. But see for that TTF, because I brace right up high. Look where my brace is there. See on
you're
the.
right on the.
My fingers touching the edge of the band.
Aye.
So I've very little sway there.
Yes. There's no backward puller.
No, that's another thing. Whenever you're looking at brace frames, see, whenever you're looking for a brace frame, you want low forks.
Yes.
This is what I don't like about universal fork tips.
Yes.
Because see, for OTT, they're no good.
Aye, because they're too. Yeah.
Because it's the width of the TTF band off the top of the frame.
Yeah.
So if you've got 22mm TTF tips, then your band,
You're further away.
it's further away. You're creating more leverage. It's harder to hold on to. It's harder to aim.
Because it's wanting to go
Aye.
like this here instead of you
The,
really
low,
choking up on
the
it.
lower the forks, the better.
Aye.
You know, if you're not fork hitting.
Because you could even. I've seen when you brace right
Aye.
nearly
Aye.
there. Whereas I don't. I'm a wee bit further back, but you're right on the fucking corner of the fork.
That's why I like the S90, because the way the S90 is designed, right? See that one there? See that one there? The S90 is the exact same, except that there comes up square.
Yes.
See the S90? That there goes out and then comes in at an angle.
Aye.
So it's nearly like two wee wings that you can brace
You
onto.
can brace onto. Yes,
Aye.
Yes. Aye, that's flat.
Aye.
That's an early one. That must be fun. What's that? 3-year-old?
Aye.
Would be, wouldn't it?
What bands are you shooting?
0.5, 23 to 13. But I had them cut for OT for wrap and tuck. So they're actually at 14.5 for clips.
Aye. Yeah.
Maybe it's just slightly. I cut them at 15. So I did this morning. Cut them at 15, and then put them in, which are getting, what's that, maybe 5mm or something. So
Aye.
14.5. But I think 15. If I was to put them as a wrap and tuck, it'd be too long because of the clips. I wouldn't get the wall. I wouldn't hit the wall.
Aye.
So
Aye. That's what we're talking about yesterday. And
There's the wall.
It's a good topic for a conversation here.
Yeah.
I was telling Ken yesterday I made a set of 0.7 bands, 20 to 10 for 8mm steel. Great band. Black, snipersling black, 0.7, 20 to 10. And then we were talking about I need to get more bands off snipersling, and I'm thinking about what I'm gonna order. Aye, so yesterday we were chatting about sniper sling bands.
Yeah.
I've caught a new taper. I'm using a 20 to 10 on a 0.7 black. And I need to order more bands off Sniper Sling. We're talking about what I'm going to get. And I think I'm going to go for two thicknesses of black. And the reason for that is, and I do like the yellow, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen tapers that I cut last week, have them all labelled in little tubs. But the black is a better band because the yellow doesn't have the wall.
No.
What's the wall?
The wall is the resistance at nearly full draw. Like if I'm pulling this back, the black here, right? That's my wall. It won't go any further. It's not maxed out.
It's not maxed, but
there's something there. The yellow wants to go on the way back here.
Yeah, the yellow wants to go on and on and on forever. Yeah. And it's still a great band.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put it down. Yeah. But
the wall,
when you get to your anchor point, it feels like you haven't drew it back far enough.
Yeah. And I think it can. It would fuck up my release. I think
it encourages you to pull it back farther.
Boom.
You know, when you can sort of tailor it, you can shorten it, and yes, you can go wider tapers to make it heavier, but the stiffness that's in the black.
Yeah.
Once you get to your anchor point, even though it's not maxed.
Yeah.
You feel like, right, this is the right draw length.
Yes, 100%. It nearly gives you an indication that you're on point. Like,
yeah.
You know, I like the wall. I need that, and it's something we just touched on yesterday, just chatting, wasn't it? Like we kind of went, fuck, aye.
You know, and that's an archery term. Whenever they talk about like drawing a compound bow and say they have it set for 30 inches, but it wants to go on further.
Yes.
And archers don't like that.
Yes.
Because they like to have that. This is where it goes, and that's it. You know, and like I said, you can tailor the yellow to account for that, and the yellow will last longer, and the yellow's easier to pull back, and there's pros to it.
Yep.
But the black for me,
that's the king.
It's the king, and like these bands I have on now, they're terribly short. They're near maxed out.
They're maxed out for me, but I have a longer draw than you.
They're about 15 and a half.
I get me pouches there. That's the ones on.
But see the speed I get out of them.
Yeah.
They're actually quite hard to target shoot with because I can't see the shot at all.
0.7?
No, it's a 0.5.
That's a 0.5.
Aye, but it's because it's nearly maxed. It's 20 to 12.
That's one you were telling me about yesterday.
There was a boy messaged me, Brad messaged me and said that he got 340 feet per second out of this 0.5 black, 20 to 12, maxed out, semi, long draw.
Yeah, 340.
340, aye. It's so fast. Now, I've seen boys on the group complaining it breaks on them easy, and I got a comment. Somebody said the black...
But you're not going to be shooting at all, you know, it's...
But there's boys saying that they're getting breaks within a few shots, and there's boys actually pulling them to put them in their band jig and it's breaking on them. You know
what's happening there?
I haven't got that.
No, I haven't got that.
I had that in a couple of rolls of 0.7 that I scrapped. They broke while early, but thankfully the rest of it was dead on.
Sometimes you get that with a roll, but they'll fucking
well, it's like the GZK Green. The GZK Green was a king. It was an unbelievable band, and then it's just changed.
Do you remember it changed?
Aye.
We both picked up on that.
Aye.
We were like, I bought 0.6. I had an old roll of 0.6 come down the end, and then I bought another roll of 0.6. The colour was even different.
Aye.
It was darker. I was like,
the light
what is this here? Is this? I wish I had a micrometer just to measure the thickness. I thought he sent me fucking.
There was a
thicker.
boy put up a picture on the group the other week, and there was a drip down the roll.
And it's not there.
Aye, you know, like, did you ever see a drip on the roll?
Aye.
Like, you rolled it out, it was like it wasn't set right, and, it had ran, and varying thickness. And then there was another lad put up a thing during the week, and he had bought a 0.5 sniper sling, and he done speed tests, and he put up the results, and he labelled it as a 0.55, and then somebody put a comment going, there's no such thing as this 0.55, sniper sling doesn't do it, and he goes, I've put it on the micrometer and it's
You measured it,
0.55, so that's why I've labelled it as that.
I'd love to see somebody put the theraband gold on the micrometer.
Do you know that? Do you know that Czech fella Jan Nowak does the 100% slingshot?
Novak?
Aye.
No, I don't know.
Muscly eyes, I call him. I seen him in that, and he came to Cheltenham. He came to Cheltenham, and
for God's sake, this is good.
he came to Cheltenham and see whenever we were in the pub afterwards. He's a big man,
Big
like.
pub.
Aye, and you know, just like an Eastern European, he's like nearly intimidating looking. Do you know what I mean? Just a lot of him. Yeah. And I had a few pints in me, you know, and I just won the thing. And I goes to him, "You're the first man I ever seen in my life that had muscly eyes." Like that there.
What did you mention? Mate?
He didn't. I don't even think he knew what I was talking about.
You fucking shit.
But he.
Muscly eyes.
That was a great competition, you know. GZK was at that. Nathan Masters was at that, Moan Waller was at that, Gasper was at that. The Spaniard that come third in the World Cup was at it. I can't mind his name, Jose I think his name is. Smoked him. In the 10 metres.
Smoking a pancake.
Aye, but anyway, Jan put a thing up with the theraband gold. You know the edge of the roll like that? It's 15 centimetres wide.
Aye.
This side was 0.65 and this side was 0.58 or something.
Fuck me.
Just from one side to the other. That's how bad it was.
They're just knocking that out. Just the quality control is just boys. Just eyeball that there.
Profit.
All right.
Profit.
Eyeball it.
Get it out quicker. Get it out quicker. It's like construction. It's like see whenever house.
You can't see it from my house.
No.
All right.
See whenever house prices go up.
Quality goes down.
The quality goes down.
Aye.
Because boys are just get them up.
Aye.
Make hay when the sun shines.
Aye.
This isn't going to last.
Aye.
The crash is coming. And then see whenever the crash comes, see the only boys that get work are the quality men.
Aye.
And the quality men leave quality work.
Well, it's the same.
But see whenever the house prices are through the roof, can you hold a trowel at all? Aye, get you in there and get that belt. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
But the sniper sling. I'm going to get this. I'm going to message him in and get more in, and fingers crossed it's the same. But like, you know,
I want to try the 0.7, man. I want to fucking have a go with that.
The 0.7.
I'm intrigued by so as you know, I like shooting the 8.5mm leads, and the 0.5 that 23 to 13 is good, and it's see for 10, 12 metres, it's good. But I want to try that 0.7. With a fucking 8.5mm lead.
0.6 maybe.
I think it would be a fucking deadly boy.
0.6 would maybe be good for you.
It batters through the brush alright, but I think with a 0.7, with that extra just bit of fucking boom, I think it would be fucking dead. Because there's bits there where I'm hunting at the minute, and you can see them through the brambles. You know what I mean? And you're trying to pick a wee channel with the 8mm steel, and it's not happening. Like, see with that 8.5mm lead, with a heavier draw. But say 0.7, I think it would just hammer through that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, hammer through it, no bother.
That's the main problem with the 8mm.
Yeah.
You know, a leaf will knock it off.
And talking about leads as well, just touch on it. I advocate, see them Lee precision molds. They are fucking goals. Like,
you need a proper setup because it's.
I don't know. I've been all right. See with a can. Where I just get a can and then I pinch the rim, right? And now I just get a pair of pliers and it just drips it out nice and thin. So it does. I just make a spout on it.
See with mine, the problems I had with half casts with it. I hated the mould up and everything. But now Paul has got a deadly setup. He's got like a pot on a gas cooker, a camping cooker. And he's a hole in the pot, and then he's got a wee.
Oh, like a wee thing. He just pulls it over.
Aye, at the bottom of the pot.
Aye.
So it's always run out from the bottom. Aye. So you're never even getting the crap on the top. You know the. And that works class with them. But see with the ladle, and I hated the mould, hated the ladle, and always half casts.
I have a fucking mould of yours in the house.
Have you?
I found it the other day. It's who made the mould? Do you remember the boy that used to make
Sid?
Sid. I have a Sid mould, 9mm Sid mould in the house. There's many that do 12 or 18.
Pro shots do moulds the same as Lee moulds. The only problem with them is there's There's a wee nipple on them.
See,
They're not the same as the Lee. The Lee comes out.
It cuts the sprue off just clean.
See them Lee molds, them's for muskets.
Aye, they're musket. They're for muzzle loaders.
So that thing is perfect.
Aye.
Whereas see the pro shot ones, there's a wee nipple on
I
them.
don't like the nipple. Like see the ones you get the fishing weights where you have to cut 2 sprues off.
3.
Or 3 even. Aye, 3 sprues, one either side and one at the top.
Aye.
You had to cut
The
them
end
off.
ones is the one. Aye.
They're like fucking. What was that movie? The Want It. It's going like this.
Do you know there was a time whenever I started years ago, you know what I done with the fishing mould? I cut the sprues in the middle. So I had 3 jags on it. I was like, where do you see what these things do? And I cut the top one long and the 2 side ones long, and there was these wee sharp bits of lead out the side. Where do you see these?
You wouldn't like to hit your hand with
Oh
them.
my God. Talk about trying to load them. You're half an hour trying to load them.
No, I like the Lee molds. I've never had any bother with it. I'd like to get the ones, I think it's double out buckshot, which I think is 8.5 or 9 mil, but you can do 18.
Aye.
They're a great job. Just pull the sprue over and that. But you had to buy handles and you had to fuck about. And I said, well, if I was constantly shooting leads and that's all I do, I would invest in it. I would invest in them 100%.
But the Lee pot, it's a job for that, because it pours from the bottom.
Aye, that's a good job.
But they're about 80 quid.
Aye, they were dear. But if you
Brian Crawlers give me one, but I have well bore wet too, see, for the bottom of it getting clogged.
Aye, without shite. I think
it's not even that, it's like, see at the very end of the spout, the lead hardens.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So then you go to pour it again, nothing comes out.
Can you not, is them pots not electrically heated pot?
Alright.
So it's always at a temperature where you just, all you have is put the lead on?
Yeah. I think you can melt copper and all in them. He's in that field.
Copper wasn't like that.
No, but here, I think that's a good place to read up today.
I think so. Alright.
Comments.
Yeah. Hit us up.
Let us know what you think. I hope that 8mm steel hunting, that was answered for that man. You know, still a contentious topic. I'd be interested to see the conversations in the comment section.
Because we were pretty, we weren't hard on 9.5mm steel, but we were making more of a case for the 8mm, and I think when you break it down and you look at it, it's hard to argue.
Yeah, and just see, if you're hunting, you just need to be good enough. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're going to pick up an ammo and you're just going to...
It's not going to make you...
No.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's
like buying a knife, it's like buying a Ray Mears knife for bushcraft. You go buy a knife and you go, fucking hell, I'd be deadly with this thing.
Yeah.
And you get it home and you go, fuck, I'm not deadly
no.
with this.
Listen, there's no silver bullet.
Yeah.
There's practice.
There's certain things that's better than others from our experience, but you had to fucking practice with them. Like.
You had to practice, and you know, you had to
put the time in the catch box.
Put the time in, you know, and you need to...
And proper time, deliberate time.
Yeah.
That's the way. It's not just throwing up, just going bang, 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 bang.
No.
Proper time. Go through your setup, through your steps.
And just don't take shots that you can't make.
Aye, because I've been guilty of that in the past, where I'm going and you're bringing it up and you're not even hardly lined up right, and you're taking the shot anyway.
Hit and hope.
Hit and hope. So, and I had a habit of doing that in the catch box, and I had to get rid of it. I would have stayed up, and I wasn't exactly the corner of the fort tip wasn't on where I wanted it, but I let the shot go anyway.
Aye.
You know, that was a habit I had to get out of me.
I'm very, very, very concise about that. Like, you know, I'm very conscious of the draw, and what I'm doing now is I'm drawing up and I'm going past my target, and then I'm coming down.
You're up and down.
Yeah.
Here, we never touched on that there. Controlled
movement.
Controlled movement.
Well, there's up and down. I learned it from that slingshot shoot.
That book.
And there's a young fella who used to do the shoots in England. Unbelievable shooter, Jack, you called him. Can't mind his second name now, a little Welsh fella. And I used to watch him. He never told me, but I used to watch him. And he used to come in from the side and let go. But so you can come from the side in, either side in, you can come down, you can come up, or a figure 8.
Yep.
You can do a figure 8.
I can never ever get the figure 8.
The figure 8's hard because you're using a whole pile of different muscles.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're going up that way and then you're coming down that way. So it's better to be directional with it. But what I like to do is go up past it and then just slowly drop back down. So it's like there's two wee movements in there rather than just go up onto it and let go. I've found that extra wee up by it and then just let it. And it's nearly like it's just the weight of my arm.
Yes.
I'm relaxing that muscle a wee bit. Relaxed muscles is another thing. Like,
Yes.
see if you have too much tension in your shoulders and all, you're going to pluck that release.
Yeah.
You know, and what I'm going to do in the future for target shooting and competitions and all, I'll be stretching. See before I shoot my round, I'll be stretching out my two shoulders. See whenever you're drawing.
A wee band, like a resistance band?
No, I'll just be doing some stretches and I'll be going like that with my hands and just getting blood into my arms, you know. That's just...
Well, I don't think mobility is much of an issue with catapults. You know, like...
We work with our hands, so we're taking a lot of things for granted. See boys that haven't got the same strength in their hands. Yeah. You know, so like see that setup that you're shooting, the aggressive 8mm steel setup, a lot of men would struggle with that. You know?
Fucking that .76 black.
It's aggressive.
Fuck, it was just overpowered, like.
But you can build that up, and you know, I'm going to start the stretching and try. See whenever you're aiming and you're drawing, give yourself a shake out before you do it. All your muscles should be relaxed, except the muscles you're using, and they should only have the tension on them that they need. Yeah. You shouldn't be overly tense. Yeah. You know, that plucked release is a killer.
It's the same as like the control movement. If I'm shooting the 2-2 freehand, I'll use control movement. Yeah. Even off twin sticks, because there's still wobble from the shoulder. You know, there's still lateral movement there, and you use control movement. It's bringing the crosshairs. I always bring them left to right. Boom. And then it's the same as shooting right. You just want to have the only muscle you want moving is that there.
Aye.
Boom.
And just enough.
And
you
just
don't
enough.
want to be...
No, don't snatch it. Just boom.
Aye. Right.
Same thing.
Boys, leave us comments. Hope that helped. I don't know if we'll get an episode out next week. We might have a break for a week, but
we'll try our best.
We'll try our best.
We'll try our best. That's all we can do.
You know.
We like to put the videos out and get the comments off you guys. We love hearing the feedback. The ideas that come from you guys give us material to talk about, and that's what it's all about. It's all about you, is learning from mine and Chris's experience, and also from your experience. You know, there's experienced guys out there just like us.
The pocket warmers was a great one.
The pocket warmers was good. That was fantastic. I loved that for an old cold day, like just stick an old pocket warmer in and away you go. You know, I never thought of that before.
No, I never thought of that.
I didn't. For an old
I was putting the catapult and armpit and all.
Just for an old -5 day, you're on a booch, hand warmer, keep the bands warm, because it's just out, they're still warm, bang, take a shot, put it back in, done deal. Great job. Stuff like that. You know, anybody else's tips and, you know, tips and tricks and all that, they're more than welcome, because me and Chris, although we don't know everything, and everybody has different experiences and different learning stuff, so yeah, all good.
Try new things.
Yep. Everybody should be open to learning from other people, like 100%. Yeah. You know. But cool. We'll wrap it up for this week.
Thanks for watching, boys.
Thank you.